Thank you guys for watching. Today, we're going to be buying a street bike from Amazon.
Let's go!
These bikes are all the same, these three right here. Doesn't really look like this one's the same, but if you just look, the decals are different, so it makes it look a little bit different. But if you look at the fairing here, the exhaust here, and then the fairing is here, and it's just the decals that make it look different. So this guy put the X Pro sticker on it, called it the EFI. And if we go back to this one, you'll see the same fairing, same engine, same exhaust. It's just the way that these decals were put on the plastic bits. And also this is gray, and this little insert in the middle is white to match the tank on that one. So this little insert right here would be white. It could be white, and then the gray parts were up here. But the other giveaway too on these bikes is this little light right here. If you can see where I'm pointing here, that little guy is a dead giveaway when we're looking back at these. Every one of these have that on the fairing there, on the fairing there. So these bikes are all made in the same factory without a doubt. They're all put together in the same spot. So not a big deal, but they are just rebranded. I really like the way that this sticker collection goes on this one, and I like the GTX. I mean, why wouldn't you call your bike a GTX? It's awesome. I was just curious who was rebranding what. So these guys are doing free shipping, so it's basically $3,500. This one is $28, and you have to pay, how much is it? $3.99 for shipping. So this is still a better deal. And then this one here, how much is this? $34.99. So they're all within a couple $100 of each other, but I'm going to get mine on Amazon because that's where I've gotten all of my bikes. And I would really appreciate it if you guys are looking at one of these and want to buy one. Use my link because it does help me make a little bit extra money from my Amazon account and keeps me buying motorcycles. This one is kind of just not branded at all. And then this one here is branded as an X Pro on Amazon, which is where I'm going to get mine, I think. And then this one is the GTX. It's a pretty cool looking bike. I'm really curious. Everything else I've gotten so far, I bought the KPM. I bought a bunch of pit bikes. I bought the Hawk DLX. I bought the regular Hawk. And I've liked all of these bikes so far. They've been really, really good. And every single one of them has started right up out of the box. They take about an hour and a half, 2 hours, depending if you have your tools ready and everything to put them together. This one, they're saying it comes mostly assembled. It comes in a box like this. And then it has a little frame around it. All you really have to do is put the handlebars on. You might have to put the rear shock on, but it looks like this one's on already. Okay, so this moved up in the rankings fast too. So now this one's here. You can get different color choices, obviously. I've never had a red motorcycle, so like a bright red. I had a maroon one, but thought it'd be kind of fun to get a red motorcycle. So we're gonna do that. And then this was the KPM that I bought. It's a 200cc, so it's really not that fast. Compared to my 250 CBR, it's really slow actually, but you got a couple different options as far as color goes. I went with the black. I really like the way this bike looks. I put some big old knobby tires on mine, kind of an enduro style tire on off-road. Made a big difference in the way that it rode as well. It rides a lot better. Yeah, it's a cool bike and not a lot of assembly when you get them, so they're really super easy to put together. So this one's even more expensive than the street bike that I was looking at. If we go back here, you can see what else is out there. The X Pro Life in 200cc. So this is kind of the same thing as this, just have maybe a little bit of a different fairing on the front. Kind of looks like the same engine, could be the same engine. This one is a scooter. This is actually an automatic one, so lots of different options as far as that goes. And then these bikes, I don't know, man, maybe I don't want a red one. This black one's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. I don't know. What do you guys think? We're gonna get this ordered up. So after all of the bikes that I've bought and all the credit that I've gotten from you guys buying off of my links, which helps me a ton, so please keep doing that. Look at the link in the description below and you'll be able to click directly to this bike. Yeah, it's easy. Just go buy the bike, no big deal. Color options on this one. The blue one was kind of intriguing too. I mean, that's kind of a cool blue. Red, white. What do you guys think? Red or blue? When I order this, they're going to call me and say you need to verify your phone number, make sure that you're going to be home when they're going to deliver it, and yeah, so it should be pretty smooth. And then they're going to send me a certificate of origin for this bike. So X Pro has done this. It comes like 2 days after you get the bike. Sometimes it comes with the bike, and you take that certificate of origin and you take that to the DMV, and then you have to go to the state that you live in and you have to pay the import tax on the bike. The last one I did on the KPM was $16 for the import tax, and you just have to have proof of that when you take the certificate of origin into the DMV. Then they can register it, get you plates. And the last time I did this, it was a half an hour maybe in the DMV where I live. I went in the middle of the day when there weren't a whole bunch of people there, and they got me in and out of there really quick with new plates. And the first time you plate the bike, you get the plates for 4 years in Oregon. Every time you renew it after that, it's only good for 2 years. This one is going to be a total of $3,258.95. We're doing red. Let's go for it. Place this order. Now we wait. All right, here comes the Diamond Line delivery truck coming down. That gigantic truck for one little motorcycle. Well, I'm really excited to get this bike out and check it out. This is the X Pro 250, whatever it is, the street bike. Cool, can't wait. Nice payout. All right, this is a big box, you guys. This is the biggest one I've gotten so far. It's a huge box, and they obviously, somebody that doesn't know how to drive a forklift hit this thing pretty good. I don't see any huge scuffs in there, or anything major that got hit. Maybe just a little bit on that fairing on the inside there, but I don't know. I just wanted to take it. If I have to request some parts or whatever, I can do that. I took pictures when it got off the truck. This one is the worst one I've had so far as getting it delivered. If you feel the box itself, I was getting ready to move it in the garage, and you can almost hear it. It's like wobbling around inside of there, which means it's not secured down. I don't want to keep doing that, obviously, because if it's getting dented or whatever, I don't want to be part of the problem. So somebody's hit that with something, not sure what it is. So we're gonna go ahead and open this thing up, check it out. Hopefully everything's okay and there's no dents or anything, but the bike itself is not secured in there, which is my biggest concern. So let's open this thing up and see what happens. So I was thinking to myself, this is looking really good. And I kind of did a little glance around and I was checking it out. Not too bad. Now, oh, wait a minute. That's pretty bad. That's pretty gnarly right there. So you have a box of parts and a windshield here. I don't know if I'm gonna actually take the time to send it back or not. Maybe they can send me a new piece. We will find out. I've heard that these guys are pretty good about sending other pieces out, but sometimes the color doesn't match. We will go ahead and keep undressing this thing. This is nice. They sent the paperwork with it. So they said I was going to be getting this in the mail. after I got the bike, but it actually came with it. That's a certificate of origin, and so I'll take that to the DMV. You have to go to your state website, pay the tax for it, so there's an import tax. The last one I did was a KPM. I think it was $17. The first one I did was the Hawk DLX. No, it was the original Hawk and then the DLX. Both of those were about $14. So just depending on how much money the bike costs, then they take a percentage of that, and then that's what the tax is, and you don't get to choose. You just got to pay what they say to pay. So this bike is actually different from the one that I expected to get from Amazon, because the Amazon bike that I saw, it said X Pro right here, right there, and this says Boom. So I don't know what that is, or if that's like a different brand, or like I was showing you, there was like 4 or 5 of these different bikes that were all the same bike, but they were just getting rebranded, and this is no longer the X Pro version. This is the Boom version. Nothing else appears to be damaged, which is really good. Like all the fairings look pretty good. All the frame looks pretty good. Wheels and tires look pretty good. And then you've got this. Not so good, but that's all that happened considering how loose it was in there. I'm kind of impressed with the way that they packed it, even though these straps down here are loose, not were. As you can see, the whole bike will tip back and forth. Normally with these bikes, you usually have to put the front tire on and you have to put the rear shock on, but that's why this box was so big, is because it's holding the whole bike completely put together, with the exception of the handlebars. So this is a sealed battery. It does have the fluid in it. So we just have to throw it on a charger for a little bit. So this is the first time trying to fire this thing up. We got the battery charged, so this looks good. Turn signal on. Here's the fuel pump going.